Hi everyone, welcome to Under One Umbrella Designs. This is a repeat video because I was made aware that the audio wasn't working properly, so I'm going to do a new video with better audio. So this is a Christmas in July video, and first off we're starting with a clear epoxy, and this one takes 24 hours to cure, and it's a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 parts resin to 1 part hardener. So there I am, just mixing it up, putting it into a container, measuring it out. And this resin needs to be mixed gently. You don't want to go in there and whip it up and create more bubbles. You just want to gently mix it. And you should mix it for a good 3 minutes to get the hardener and the epoxy mixed together properly. Scraping the sides and the bottom, because sometimes that hardener or the epoxy can stick to the sides and not mixed up. And I've done it many times where you pour and then you go back the next day and your resin won't set up, and that's why, because it's just not mixed together properly. So yes, I went in there and poured it gently. Then I'll go in with a heat gun and just graze over top of it, and that removes the bubbles in the epoxy, because you want to have a crystal clear look. You don't want all those bubbles. It will create kind of a, well, distort your image. You want to have it nice and clear, so you want to remove as many bubbles as you can. So during the process of the curing, I'll go back several times, and because as it's curing, the bubbles will rise to the top, so you have to go back several times and check it. And so that was just the heat gun, and now I'm going in with a lighter, removing the epoxy, or removing the bubbles out of the epoxy. Don't hold the lighter in one area for too long. You want to just move it around quickly, removing all the bubbles, and then just cover it and let it set. Go back a few times, check, make sure you got all those bubbles removed. Yeah, so this is 24 hours later, and I'm demolding them. They turned out really nice. Just clean up the sides. So when you have these molds, the IOD molds are kind of like a rough texture. You have to have molds that are completely shiny, smooth, and then your epoxy will come out shiny and smooth and really nice. But all I did was take a clear Rust-Oleum gloss, just went over it, and it shined them right back up. So here I took some decoupage paper and fussy cut out my images that I wanted to use. And here's a tip: paint the back of your decoupage paper first before you cut them out. I didn't do this, and it was tedious and silly. You'll see where I have to be meticulous in my painting. So it's best just to paint the whole back of the sheet, and it's a lot easier than cut them out. And why I say paint the back white, because you want the image to pop when you put it under the glass, under the resin. And if you don't, it'll have more of a transparent look, and I don't want that. I want the image to really stand out. Here I'm just taking a transfer and getting some more elements to add to the images, transferring them down onto the decoupage paper that I'm going to use. It was being a little stubborn, so I had to place it back down. So that's why you want to gently lift it up to see if your image is being transferred. If it's not, put it back down and rub some more. There's my cats keep walking back and forth. They were very needy that night when I was doing my filming. They were telling me, "It's time to go to bed, Mom." It was probably bedtime when I was doing this, that's why. So they're sitting, they don't usually sit right on top of my desk like that. It was weird. I love them. They're actually Sphinx cats. They're hairless, and I love that. Harry and Daisy, their names. Daisy's got the really blue eyes, and Harry's got the aqua colored eyes. Well, not aqua green, I guess. They're my sidekicks. Yeah. Yes, I know, they're so ugly. They're cute. That's what everybody tells me, or calls them my inside out cats. There, that was a pain in the butt, meticulously cutting that out. Okay, so now I'm going in with my Fusion Transfer Gel, and I'm going to put my images. No, I'm just placing them, seeing how I want them to go. So with the transfer gel, it's the Fusion Transfer Gel, you just put an even coat, place your image face side up at the back, and then you do a coat of the transfer gel over top of it, and it kind of seals it right in. Make sure it's not globby or anything. You want to put a nice even coat. So yeah, my images face up. You want them looking through the cloche. Nice even coat. These cloches are so beautiful. I just love working with these. Can you imagine a whole tree filled with these, with all different images? Oh, that would be so beautiful. So I'm just taking the heat gun and drying them up. So now this is where I should have thought before. I should have painted that rice paper, like I said before, and oh well, it would have been a lot easier. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't do that, but I go in with another color on top of that, but the color that I use is a turquoise, and I think it would have muted or just made the image not as bright, so that's why I went in with the white first. I always put white underneath my decoupage, unless you really want your decoupage paper to look dark and moody. So now I went in with the Fusion Azure, it's called. This is an all-in-one paint, primer and sealer. I had feedback that they should have left them clear, but I like this look. Each to their own. You can, when you make yours, you can make yours clear. Leave them clear. Like you could put whatever colors you have in your house, you could coordinate your ornaments easy enough. And it looks so nice. So now I'm going to go in with a Pentart gold paint, and it is one of my favorite paints to use. It's you mix pigment fix and this gold metallic powder, metal powder. Mix it together and it is the nicest gold. It's like painting on metal. Gold metal on your ornament. I was going to go in after I did this with a wax, dark wax, or an antiquing gel of some sort, just to kind of moody up the metal, make it look vintage and older, worn. But I decided I didn't want that. I wanted it to be a bright gold. But that's another idea. You can put over top like a dark, even diluted dark paint you could put over top, and then white back as much as you want, just to get the crevices all darkened up. Make it look more vintage. Geez, so that paint is incredible. And it comes in a little container, but boy, does it go a long way. That cup is, I could have painted a whole lot more. I think I threw out some of it. So when you mix it, you don't need much. You just mix little amounts. It goes a long way. See, it's covered really well, but I think I just go back trying to use up the gold. I'm cheap. I don't want to throw that gold out. So in this part, I'm drilling holes at the top. I have an old file, old nail drill that I used to do nails. So not that you can look at my nails; they're awful. But I use that to drill holes in my projects, little tiny holes. It's perfect. Just drill on a piece of wood so I'm not drilling into my counter. And then I took some gold string, gold threading. You could, depending on the hole that you drill into you can't drill a great big hole in there. You'd wreck the top would be really weak. That little top finial will be really weak, but you can use an assortment of ribbon or string, whatever you have to coordinate with your project. Oh, and then at the very end, I have a Pentart gloss varnish, and I just went over the clear part of the cloche over the image to brighten that up, make it look shinier. It gives a really nice gloss and makes the cloche look 3D, like you can look inside the cloche and see the images. It's really cool. They turned out really nice. So here's a shot of the finished ornaments. So I hope this audio worked. I'm gonna have to review it again, see what's going on. So if you need any supplies, you can go and check them out on my website. I have fusion paint, I have Pentart art supplies, and recycled paper, decoupage, Queen, IOD. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye.